Hey everybody, welcome back to Nerd News Today. I'm Matthew, and on today's episode, we're taking a look at a new PVC figure diorama statue from Diamond Select. And this piece today comes to us from a Disney Plus show, in fact. And that show was WandaVision, and that's what we're taking a look at today because we have right here our Wanda Maximoff, our Scarlet Witch statue based on her appearance from WandaVision. And this version of her is in her full glory, full power. She is blasting away. This is a really beautiful piece. And I said it with a little bit of bias because I saw this back at New York Comic Con when they first debuted it, and it was one of the most talked about pieces I feel like from Diamond that year. There was a lot of great stuff on display as usual with Diamond Select's booth at NYCC, but I think it was really the Scarlet Witch statue that got everybody talking the most. Beautiful paint job, gorgeous face sculpting, like everything was there to make this a knockout piece. The question is, this many months later, will the version that we saw in pre-production be as good as the one that we get in our hands today? Well, that is what we're gonna find out. But before we get to that, I want to show you guys the box real quick, just because it is what it is. It's the same as pretty much all the Diamond Select PVC figure diorama packaging. You got big window on the front, big window on the side, big window on the other side, and of course, that signature Diamond Select sunroof. The back of the box has a very succinct bio about Scarlet Witch. It's basically 2 sentences and really just goes into her powers, not much else, no context about the show or anything like that. But really with a piece like this and what she's doing and the pose that she has here, I feel like it actually makes more sense to just talk about her powers and not really much else beyond that. But most importantly on the back of the box here, it lets us know who made this piece. And this was designed by Caesar and sculpted by Alejandro Pereira Ezcurra. I'm trying to roll my R's. I'm sorry, Alejandro. I'm doing my best here. But that's pretty much all you need to know for the box. The most important part is what's inside it. So let's go ahead and get our Scarlet Witch out of the packaging and take a closer look at her from all angles. Alright, and here's our Scarlet Witch statue a la WandaVision. This is our statue of Elizabeth Olsen in all of her glory. Out of the package, she is just as impressive, I'd say, as when we first saw her at Comic Con. So let's just do a quick rotation, and you can see at least the upper half of how this statue looks from all angles. And I'll give you guys my initial thoughts as we do this rotation. And man, I gotta tell you guys, this is one of the best pieces that they have put out. Now, and I say that, I was gonna add for this year, but I'm just looking at this thing now as it spins, and I'm like, no, this might be one of their best of all time. There is a lot to talk about with this piece, and it's all so beautifully done. This is definitely one of the top Diamond Select PVC figure dioramas that the Marvel Gallery series has seen. That's a very, very huge compliment. And as it continues to spin too, I'm still really blown away. I mean, let's start making some magic puns. I am so enchanted by this statue. Well, the Enchantress is a different character. Maybe I'll reserve that for a different episode, but this thing is amazing looking. Wow, top to bottom. I mean, I'll give you guys a glance as well at what the bottom looks like with that base. This might be the most perfect statue that Diamond has done for Marvel Gallery. I mean, the outfit, the costume, the likeness, the use of the translucent plastic behind it. Wow, this is gorgeous. So let's dive in a little bit deeper now and take a closer look at this statue. Let's start first by talking about this likeness over here. And does this look like Elizabeth Olsen? And I gotta tell you guys, from every angle, like, this is perfect. 10 out of 10, nailed it. This is gorgeous. I mean, wow, especially from the 3/4 profile, that's really where you can see that it is her. But they got her eyes, her nose, her cheekbones, especially her lips. Like, this is practically 1-to-1. I don't want to say this is like Hot Toys quality, because, Hot Toys is a whole different level, but, like, this is worthy of Hot Toys, this sculpting, and especially this paint job here in the face. But, yeah, like, as far as just the sculpting itself goes, I mean, they just got every single part of her face right. Like, it's immediately readable as Wanda, as Elizabeth Olsen, as the character, as the performer. This is just a 10 out of 10, knock it out of the ballpark, whatever you want to say, whatever metaphor you want to use, this is it, they got it. And likewise too with this hair is really good, and I know it's a little bit harder to see all the parts of the hair the way I'm going to be shooting it, but the hair is great too. I mean, so much wonderful sculpting detail in the hair. Likewise too, the paint job on that hair is very, very excellent as well. Just no complaints here. You might be wondering about her hair color also, whether or not it's accurate or not to the show. With hair, I think Diamond tends to usually be very kind of flat-toned with it when they do these like gallery pieces, but there is a pretty good amount of depth to it. I'd say this is pretty close to what we saw on Disney Plus with her. And you want to talk about great paint job also, I want to point out the eyes as well. Like, the pupils are painted in there so well, lips are perfect. There does not appear to be like an inch of slop on her face, on her hair, really anywhere in there. And looking at the whole statue, I can say there's really not much there either. Like, I could pick out 1 or 2 parts that I saw had like a little bit of slop, but it's like so minimal that it's frankly not really worth mentioning. You might see it as we move around and take a look at this piece here, but it's few and far between. It really is, like on all elements of this piece here. Now let's talk a bit more about the outfit as well, the wardrobe for our Scarlet Witch here. And I guess I can get into a little bit more of the texture and the pose of this piece here. This is a highly textured piece also, which is pretty cool. For those of you who are very much into the tactile sensation, this is not, you know, the flat sort of thing. There's raised texture on her sleeves, on the outfit itself here in the armor part, as well as on the skirt section of it. The cape is the smoother part of it, which you guys can see. Not really any dimension added to that. It is kind of just what it is, but still looks great. So yeah, in addition to like the sort of rougher texture that you see on her sleeves and throughout the rest of her armor, you also have some like deeper raised sections, like these larger black parts over here. So lots of different textures for the Scarlet Witch over here. Now the pose is what is really stunning about this piece, I think, among other things, but the pose itself, I mean, wow, this is, again, talk about excellent posing here. So our Wanda's basically kind of flying off in the air. She's just taken off. I believe this is meant to represent the scene where in WandaVision she kind of just becomes powerful once again and is about to take out the entire, I don't remember what organization it was, but the group that was basically after her and wanted to stop Vision and stop her from doing the town that she had made. Spoiler alert. So yeah, this is basically, I believe, what that's meant to be, and she's just now going in full power, full crazy Wanda mode, I guess, for lack of a better term. And so it's just great because you have all this energy from the pose and as well as from the piece that's making the backdrop here as well. It's making this like very, like almost like a tarot card to me, you know. It's a very mystical kind of pose, very mystical stance that she's in, but it's also still tied together, you know, like Wanda herself is very vertical, but we have all these different pointy bits that make up this power blast on the side here. They all kind of are diagonals that force you right back into Wanda. So just, you know, really good design sense there, really great choices by Caesar, and wonderful sculpting job by Alejandro. I don't really think I would do anything differently with it. I mean, I think this is like the perfect pose too to let you know who Wanda is, what she's all about, and also just being immediately recognizable to the fans that already know about WandaVision. Speaking of, I want to show you guys a little bit more about the base itself. We're going to do that from behind, I think, for the most part, because even the back of it has some like really unexpected surprises. I was not expecting to see a lot of what's being shown off in this piece right now. And what I'm talking about are all these glyphs. So glyphs were a major part of WandaVision, in case you haven't seen it. But yeah, this is basically kind of like the cores of magic for Marvel Universe characters. And I was surprised to see them as part of this piece. Again, I don't think this was really shown off in Comic-Con because we've typically seen Wanda from the front. And it may have been talked about, but this is my first time seeing it. And it's really nice just because of the paint job they did to both these glyphs here. Now, you guys can see as well, this plastic is essentially this kind of like this transparent plastic. It's very much like a crimson, magenta, red combination. It starts out as much more crimson and then turns a bit more purple, pink as it goes down. And likewise, it kind of stays that way with these different glyphs, but they also have their own separate paint detail on them. And I think they actually might be darker plastic as well because they look like they're separate pieces. Yeah, they are separate pieces. So they're more of like a deeper purple pink, I believe. And on top of that, you have this silver weathering on both of them, which helps them really stand out. And it adds a little bit more depth to them. It makes them look just more mystical and supernatural as well. So that part is something I really, really enjoy. The bottom of the base is what we've seen a lot with diamond pieces in the past, which is smoke effects, and that's never a bad thing. I always say in these videos, I think their bases are like one of the coolest things about these statues, and I wish they sold them separately, and I absolutely say that again here in this video. I love how they do smoke. This is a great version of it, because it's not just smoke. This is like Wanda purple magic smoke. I don't know what the heck you want to call it, but yeah, it's really, really delightful to look at. Wonderful colors. And that's kind of what makes this piece stand out too, is the fact that our Wanda herself here, she's pretty dark compared to the rest of the effects around her, and it really helps to make the contrast of the piece work. So it's just strong top to bottom, not just as a piece for Scarlet Witch, but just as a statue itself. Just all the right aesthetic choices. I think this is a really great piece here, and from really every angle I'm looking at this thing, it just keeps getting better and better. I mean, from the lightness to the outfit, the wardrobe, the pose that she's in, and even the base are just knockouts. I think they're just perfect choices all around. Great energy, great feel to it. You know, I didn't think I would like a piece of WandaVision this much, but here I am talking all sorts of wonderful things about it. And I think it's a definite must-have, especially if you're someone that's like collecting the Marvel Cinematic Universe pieces Diamond's been doing. I think this is one you gotta have in your collection. And they've done a lot of great pieces from the MCU. They've done all sorts of Iron Man and Captain America and Hulks and everybody else in between. not a ton of stuff for Wanda. And I think this is going to be like one of the most iconic and also most affordable statues of Wanda that you can get in the MCU and from Diamond Select. And just in general, it is just a solid piece. And again, the affordability is a very major point for me in these videos, because you could be looking at something from, like, let's say Iron Studios, and that's going to be a heck of a lot more money than this is. And yes, it's going to be amazing and have a lot more detail in this because that's going to be a resin piece. But as far as like PVC pieces go, as far as things you could pick up in your local comic store, just order on Amazon, you're not going to break the bank with a piece like this. And I think it's totally worth adding to your collection. And speaking of, if you want to add to this WandaVision Scarlet Witch to your shelf, go ahead and check out my Amazon affiliate links in the description of this video below. If you make any purchases using that link, it helps out this YouTube channel at no extra cost to you, and I would thank you ever so much if you did that. So that's our look at the WandaVision Scarlet Witch Marvel Gallery PVC figure diorama by Diamond Select. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, and if you think she is worth adding to your collection. And if you already own her, let me know your thoughts too. So until next time, I'm Matthew. This has been Nerd News Today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time on more statue reviews and everything else we do here on this channel.